Hey guys, this is Arun Kumar Krishna, founder of AS13.ai. And today we have, in our podcast, one of the innovators and disruptors in the space. Welcome, Badri, for Tech
Hi.
Leadership Club by AS13. We bring you mind shaping from technology. And Badri has over 18 years of engineering experience, architecting system, product building, been a colleague of mine for a short while, but now he's on to something. He started something, and I thought it would be a great conversation to catch up with him. So over to you, Badri.
Hi, everyone. This is Badri. Thanks, Arunji, giving the good opportunity for me to express myself. As of now, I used to express myself in the phone calls and chit chat with the friends, face-to-face chit chat. This is the first time I'm coming towards the podcast to share my views to the viewers and our subscribers. Uh, thanks a lot. So about me, as Arunji said, I have 8 years of experience. My background is completely 3D, but I choose to do software. So I started my journey as a software engineer, but I am a core 3D guy. So my intention is to do something new every time, something new. When I'm joining engineering itself, I feel like that I want to do something new. But I know that in electrical departments, I'm doing something new. It will take years, and
Yes.
uh, it is not possible within like 1 week or 2 weeks. We need to wait for this, and we don't have that ecosystem. Especially in 8 years back, we don't have ecosystem about the PCB boards and other things. But now it's a good. Uh, I'm happy to be a triple E guy. So yeah, before going, just I want to uh, tell about how I started this journey. As I said, I'm very passionate about doing something or doing a product. So from last 2, 3 years, 4 years back, after AI disturbed the world. No, I thought like that. See, AI is taking everything. Now, just I want to make sure that I know I learn about AI and just I went to the AI classes in the 2019 in the Triple IT Hyderabad. So it's a 4 hours like workshop or it's a like short term course, whatever it may be. People used to think it's for me is a kickstart for the AI to understand AI, what AI can do, what is the capability of AI. So after that, I'm looking into the AI projects and I'm looking into the world of AI, what it is doing. After Corona, and you know about ChatGPT, the people, I'm one of the person who broadcast like ambassador for my company saying that we use ChatGPT in the year 2023, from Jan onwards I started. It's released in December. People are not aware of that one. And I gone through that one and I started saying that use if people are writing code, please check with the ChatGPT also to double check whether your logic is correct or not. So at that moment I thought that okay, fine, it's nice to know that things are going well. So then I started planning of why can't we do our own thing with the help of AI and using AI. I want to do AI product. So that's how it's make me think. So I started my journey 2024 Jan 3rd. Initially, I took the away because I'm very familiar and very comfort with the software. So I started some software application like AI-based interviews. So I think successfully I completed in 4 months what I want to do with the MVP. After that, just I'm going through it. See, software world is different. Completely, software and startup world is different. Software
Yeah.
world is we'll do the things, we'll run it, and we feel success. That's a different story.
See,
When it comes,
what one of the things I was talking to one of my previous guests is where, as engineers, right? You are builder, I am building something, and the previous guest was building something, right? We think, you build, you will get customers.
yes,
If
that is a major problem because
things work, but eventually then we realize there is all this sales and marketing that is the bread and butter of bringing customers. right?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
so that was a interesting realization everybody goes through. I've seen that as a journey, especially with the tech people. They think, hey, if I build a kick-ass product, customer is, no doubt they are going to come, but it's not that easy, right?
It's, yeah,
And
especially.
there has been
Yes,
books
exactly.
written about it, but as a tech person, you're always, gravitated towards a product and trying to build something, and you build it probably within weeks, right? As you said, MVP
Exactly.
took like 4 months, right? And I know you had very limited resources at that time. I think it's all bootstrap. So that
Exactly.
was a great
I'm only
achievement.
the one. I'm only
Yeah.
one or two people. We are two people only, just.
Yeah.
We did
So
it.
that shows the skill and expertise, right? You can get an idea to market within 4 weeks, but to sell, it's a whole different story. I will not even talk
Exactly.
about it.
Exactly.
Uh,
I know. It's
but
a real
yeah,
thing. Most
yeah,
of the
but
people will think that I actually one of my LinkedIn posts I mentioned that maybe you are a software engineer, you will do lot of things, but the thing writing code is not enough to sell the product.
yeah.
Selling the product is not if you if, without writing code also we can sell the product.
See,
That is
I'm just waiting for a sizable audience in my podcast because I know, amazing sales guy,
mm,
right? He can sell water to a fish, right?
mm.
So, but he does it ethically. If you give him water and ask him to sell it to fish, he will not sell. He'll say, this is useless. I'll lose my customer. For him, his customers, his connections, the people who has built a relationships with, that is more important. For him, if you say you're going to sell an oxygen mask to fish, he would accept it because that's a value add for a fish, right? If if you want him to scam his own connections, he will never do it. He would rather quit the company. So I'll bring that guy. Probably that will be quite an useful thing. And what I'm planning to do is, have this builders in one side, have the sales guy on the other side, look at both perceptions
Good thing. It's a
because
good
that's an
thing.
interesting dynamic, right? Coders know to get a feature into deployment. How do you sell this feature to a customer? Because you have to build a story, you have to run a campaign, you have to show the value to the customer, then convince him to pay, right? So all these are, pretty complex cycles. And
Exactly.
that's what I realized. Probably that would be an amazing session, right? You have builders on one side, you have sales guys on another side, and see what are the challenges because sales guys need to sell, builders have to build. You can't compromise on
Exactly.
both.
Exactly. So I will
But
tell
the
you one experience
yeah,
which I've had in TCS. TCS. So I'm with the innovation team. These people will go with the market research and they will connect with some other big leaders in the market and clients in the market, and they will come to us and say this like we want this, Badri. So I don't know. We used to say I don't want to say offend this sales awesome thing, but we used to hate why these people have committed these things which is not possible. Which is not possible. How can we do this one? So they have. How come they commit this one? But now I understood the pain of the these great people who really making things getting revenue. That is a different earning money, getting
yeah,
revenue. So it's really hats off to those guys who are doing really good in the sales and getting things done and
yeah,
convincing the client. It's not one client, different clients. So
yeah,
it's really they are good. They are good. To be frank, as a technical guy, if you're a technical and developer guy, and I used to think, what these guys will do? We'll do the product and they will sell it.
yeah,
What is there in that? But now I'm understanding as from last 2 years. I said like that we completed with 4 months we completed MVP, and after 2 months I'm figuring out how to do the marketing things. But the thing is that when I'm going to the market, people used to say this product is already existed. Already
ex-
existed. Why you are doing this product? So no. This is for so okay. If I go with the trial run also, the cost of the trial run is also
too
is
high.
huge. For us like for us the people, the cost of this one is huge. Giving the free trial and doing the trials. Giving the free trial is one of the good option to get into the market. But who will pay the budget for this one? Is the our concern, most concern.
Yeah, I think
So
free trial is good for one or two, not for a public. right?
Yes,
Because if you
exactly.
have something like a VC cash or something, then you can burn through by onboarding customers, but not, when you are a bootstrap. You need to have a limited
What's
trials.
limited price? Even that is also for me. It is a very costly. I don't know whether we can go with this. Why? Because the video
Mm.
streaming of the interview and doing the analytics, it's too much cost. The product came out very well, but I afraid with the cost. If I burn something now for the high cost, it's then it will impact me. Then we thought like that in a second path, different path. What we choose is that let's do someone is. Figuring out to do some problems, AI related problems, or some software companies are facing issues. We are the expertise. Let's take some service, we will provide the consultants and services. And meanwhile, we thought like that we need to provide some tool to the near education institutes. So where it will help them to get the things better, to accelerate their work using AI. That is one of the thoughts. So we parallelly did for one of the school, Bellwether International School, which is in Thankuru. So my son is studying there. So I connected with him, the director. His name is Deepak Adanki, and he is IIT Madras graduate. He is very intelligent and innovative. He looks for the innovation. So he accepted my proposal there to provide some software for them. And so we collaborated at the time, and we parallelly do that one. And parallelly, I started to why because the most important thing is that in a startup thing, we need to have the fuel. We need to stay. We should not
Yeah.
burn our fuel in a short period of time. We need to drag it. Why?
Yeah.
Because we don't know when our opportunity will come. We should hold the product and we need to go with them into everyone, every door, and we need to knock every door, and we need to wait for the time. If you are unable to handle the fuel in the money, and you are spending everything with software development, then it is very hard to market the
Not
things.
sustain It's not sustainable, right? See, previously also, I don't know if that episode got aired or not yet, but I need to check with the team. But anybody is listening, the previous also is a AI builder, right? But he's focusing on healthcare, providing better care for hospitals, stopping revenue leakages using AI, basically, improving their paperwork, reducing burnout in the healthcare, which is a lot, right? I think there also I give same, Badri, whatever you said, right? Startup is measured with, it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You don't go from zero to
Exactly.
100. It's like, what I was asking him is, how long has he been in the game? He said 2 years. What myself, I consider, there is no golden rule, but I consider if a business can sustain for 3 years, it can mature and move forward, because that's what my experience is. Anything you can, hold on to it for 3 years, you have
Absolutely.
that mileage, whether it's a validated market, whether your product fits a market, you have something that is flowing in as a revenue and the cost is manageable. If you even hit a 3-year break even, I think that's still amazing. You don't have to chase these VC numbers to, just meet revenues. But if your business is self-sustained, that's a huge success, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that, because I think, and I know, what a VC money can do to a company, because we have been victims of that. But
Exactly.
so that is something I always, tell to some of the people on the guest also, yeah, VC money is great if you're burning through cost, chasing high growth or hyperbolic growth. It's a great addition. But if you don't need money and you still get money, that's a problem,
Exactly.
right? And it can derail your whole product vision, and you will start hunting the next shiny thing, or you might pivot into something, or you might make some irrational decisions, because that can impact how risk taking behavior you are. When you have
Yes.
less money, you tend to take less risk, manage the cost, and sustain for longer run. When you immediately get a huge cash inflow, you get derailed. You want to experiment on
Exactly. We don't
everything.
know. Yeah, exactly. We want to make that to everything. And finally it will be like a big shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is one thing. Everything I will take it from the universe. Everything I will compare with the universe. As you said, 3 years is a good time. Yeah. If you say that baby born. It will take 3 years to do the development of the body. Exactly 3 years. They will
Nice.
walk or they will speak. So in one by one, they learn. So immediately at the born, it is not happen. Whatever it is, the nature. We need to compare with the nature, right? Because we are doing for the nature. The business is the nature. So I used to compare with that one. The people who start the company. So treat like a baby, just born and
Yeah.
hold for 3 years. Give the feed, whatever it's required. Take care, and give the proper medicines. Like the proper medicines in the sense, proper treatment from the mentors. So we need to check with the mentors. Frequently, we need to check with the mentors. Frequently, we need to visit the summits. Summits is it's a hospital is nothing but a summit. We need to go for the summits. What's going around, and we need to check with other people who is doing already, who is facing the. So that's the guidelines from the other startups.
Yeah.
Is
Yeah. I think.
what we need to do?
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to follow the
See,
same. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
you touched something that I also believe similarly. See, one of the things I keep saying to my wife and also the people who are close to me is, humans are always obsessed with mimicking nature,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
We tend to improvise things. We tend to, do some things trying to mimic. One of the best examples I was talking to people like you is, imagine packaging industry. It is trying to mimic a banana, okay, in
Mm.
packaging. You keep the fruit fresh, zero wastage. It's all, you can reuse it. You can, whatever the peels you get, you can feed it to animals. The package industry is trying to mimic this for almost hundreds of years, right? But they still
Exactly.
can't figure out,
Exactly.
right? They are trying
Exactly.
to
It's
protect the
absolutely.
goods, keep it fresh, increase the shelf life. As it is, banana has a shelf life of probably 1 month from the harvest to the moment of sell, right? Or the consumption. But there is
Absolutely.
zero wastage anywhere in the supply chain, right?
Yes, absolutely. It's a
And
correct.
this is what
It's
even billion-dollar companies are trying to, mimic. They need to protect the goods from, producer to the consumer and have zero waste and shipping, right?
yeah.
And during this evolution, they tried many number, plastic container bags, paper container bags, reusable materials, but still there are costs associated with it, and there is still a chance of, goods getting failed or whatever it is. And they are trying to get close to this nature of, having that packaging work like it's so seamless, right? Your food is, produced in a way it's packaged by default and it grows within that package. And this is what almost all product companies who are physical goods sellers are trying to mimic, right? Because they produce a product, then package, right? And you can't compete with nature in this, basically.
Exactly. We need to first
So,
we need to understand the nature, what actually they are trying. It is trying to, which is established a million years ago. So we
yeah,
need to understand what's going on before going to do that one. People are blindly think that it is a innovation. What I used to say is that whatever now we are doing, that is not an innovation. It's already
yeah,
there. The thing is that somewhere how it is destroyed or somewhere we are trying to discover. We lost knowledge.
knowledge.
To, we lost the knowledge and
Perfect.
we are trying to figuring out the knowledge in the reverse engineering pattern.
Yeah. See,
So
this is what I have my whole debate myself. I've never expressed this. This is the first time I'm expressing. The whole science thing about what we have discovered is reverse engineering. Apple falling from a tree. Why did apple fall? It's a reverse engineering question, right?
exactly,
Earth rotating around the sun, again reverse engineering question,
exactly,
right?
exactly.
It's not something we invented. We all discovered, right?
Exactly. This is the
We
word I
did.
used to say with the people. When I was saying that it's a innovation, great innovation. No, yeah, we didn't know the knowledge. That's why we discovered now. That's it. If you have the knowledge, if you go for, actually, we'll have the knowledge in the temples. If you go for the temples, if you observe the thing, something, we'll figure it out something and we can try to understand why, because you are educated. For me, it's a
Yeah,
10th class is more than enough to understand the things. People are not understanding that minimum thing. Why? Because 10th class, why we need to have minimum 10th class need? We need to at least read the words, what is there in the board, or what is there in the word, or we need to
yeah,
write a word, or you need to write a sentence. Both, and you need to understand the things, and you need to. speak with the people. This is only the
Yes.
minimum knowledge we need to understand why we need to have the language at up to 10. So if something is parabola or something is triangle, why it is triangle, you need to understand. That's it. No
Yeah.
need to go deep. So that is why the education, but people are taking it as a different sector, different angle, mass, they running towards the mass and getting the jobs. No, no, no. So we need to understand what is existed to be staying in front of me. I have a lot of things. I need to understand the opportunity, seeing that one.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I used to say with the people. So come to the point.
Same.
So this is what we are missing. We need to discover the things what's happening.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
with that, like people are lost a lot of knowledge. And as you said, the packaging thing is absolutely correct. So the nature is already doing the packaging, and we are
Yeah.
unable to try to mimic. So most of
Yes.
the things we want to try to understand the process of the nature, and we need to be more patient. Why? Because the nature itself is taking 3 years time, and how can, as a human, how can you complete within 6 months, within a 9 months? It's not possible. Why? Because again, the work. Suppose you started your work as a career, for building our experience, if you are getting the experience level, it will take at least 3 to 4 years. It's a common nature for getting the experience or expertise in particular
Yes.
field. It will take minimum 3 years. 3 years is the
Yeah.
break even. What you say, break even 3 years. So 3 years is the minimum knowledge. So that's why if you go for the degrees, also 3 years only to get the
Yeah.
specialization. Degree is the specialization. Engineering is the specialization. It's the 4 years. Why this is the 3 years or 4 years period is the minimum as per the nature. To understand the things, it will take 3 years. It's a cutoff. 3 years is the cutoff.
Yeah, I agree. There is no shortcuts in that one. But yeah, Badri, always amazing, to talk to you. And this is what I thought about, when we spoke on the call, right? I think we should talk. I think we can go on and on, but I want to focus something on what you're building now, right?
Yeah.
So, in terms of what you're building now on a private limited or Hostlet, right? What was the founding vision? You briefly mentioned that you met your how you're trying to push this to the market, but what was that founding vision that triggered, hey, this is a problem that we need to address with Oslate?
Yeah. So actually, yeah, as I said, like I started parallelly the education related thing. In the month of the January this year, 2025, just we want to make sure that we want to attend the ISMA. ISMA is the Independent the School Management System society in Andhra Pradesh. We went there and we want to show our product. So it's a pure software product, software with the AI. So if they dump the marks, we'll tell you that which student is good, which student is not good, or we will give the school for insights, teacher for insights. This is the product we did it for within 2 months. So we stopped the other services for other company, and we focused on this in the January, December. We focused to make sure that the people who dump the score will show you that awesome AA reports. It's awesome AA reports. And we make sure every teacher will get insights about each and every students what they wish. We went there. We met few directors and leaders, school leaders, management, senior managements, and other. And we said this one. And or surprisingly, who will enter the data? Teachers will enter the data. If teacher
Yeah,
is entering the wrong data, what it will happen to AI model? AI
yeah,
model
it will be
don't know
wrong.
anything. They started saying that, see, if I am going to do this work, ultimately teachers will know that who is teaching bad. Ultimately, we know that.
Oh my
That's
God.
ultimately what teachers will do. Teachers will compromise themselves and they will enter the school. Why? Because it's a private sector and it's a rural areas, like towns and cities. There are a lot of schools. We know that. I don't want to again. I don't want to say my father is a teacher, as a government high school teacher. So I know that in rural areas they used to uh, they used to pick the people or select the hire the people like from the degree or MSc. So they are not in private schools. I'm not saying about the government. Government sector is a different section. Like they have the
Beast.
BA and BA. So these are the things. But the private sector schools, they used to hire the BSc or MBA or BTech. So if they have the graduation qualification, they will hire them. But especially for the education related thing, they should try it, but they will not try it. They will not be trained teachers, most of the things. So they will, if you go for ask them that, they will explain whatever is there in the textbook. The way of explanation, the way of pattern is totally different. If you go for the government and if they train for BED, they will teach that how to train the people, how to teach the people, how to teach the students. They are the different patterns. But the people who graduated or BTech or professional course or MBA and MSc, they don't know how to teach the things. Why? Because they are not right. They will say whatever it is there in the textbook. Ultimately, the understanding from the student level is it will be compared to
Yeah.
professional teachers. It's very less. So what they will try to do is that they will try to make so why because if they get low score for the students, ultimately teachers will get backfire. So what they try to do is that they will give the score high, which is wrong. So if the marks is very good, the people, parents will be happy and the school is happy and they think.
Everybody is
But
happy.
everybody is when they will know this ultimate result is that we have at 10th class only we have the public examination. That is the only the
Yes.
point they will get to know that
Everybody realizes.
oh realize that oh my student my kid is not that much sufficient or that much capable of breaking this public exam. So what happened to 1 to 10 class?
All good.
All good. Oh, he got 16. So at the time, it's not on his paper is very tough.
Mm-mm.
Ultimately, they will believe that one. Paper is tough. The parents don't know. In a rural area or village, they don't know that whether it is a paper really tough. So what is the missing? The problem
See,
here is the transparency.
um,
They're
yeah.
missing the transparency.
See,
Even
you
the
bring you bring up one more interesting point. My sister is a teacher. Okay, his kid is around high school. Her kid is around high school. My sister doesn't teach her method to her own kid because she is a teacher. She has her own method of teaching, right? She teaches kids, but she doesn't teach her son because in school there is a method they follow, right? And
exactly,
if my sister teaches her own method of teaching her kids to her son, it will confuse him, right?
exactly,
Whether
exactly.
to follow
Even my
his
father did
school
this to
method,
me.
yeah, whether he should follow a school method or whether he should follow his mother method, right?
Exactly.
And this is where it's so complex, especially in edtech. Since you know this, right? You're also by blood in edtech, right? So it's
Exactly.
very interesting problem nobody talks about. Each school, even my kid goes to school, his school teaches in a own different style. If I tend to interfere and make it simpler or I make it complex, I don't know, right? Kids are
Exactly.
used to whatever they see and whatever, they don't have this pre-built knowledge. Whatever they see first, they try to understand it better, right? And if we try to meddle with their understanding with our understanding approach, it's going to create chaos at the early stages of understanding whatever the concepts it might be, science,
They'll get
maths, or
confused.
yeah,
And after that, it will start afraiding them. So, which is correct? Why? Because they are pure hearted. The kids are very
yeah,
pure hearted. They don't know whether it is a correct or wrong. If a mother is or father is saying something, they'll say that Mama said this one to
mm,
teachers. Teachers will say no, no, it's not wrong. So they have their own methodology to
yeah,
understand. Why? Because it's not easy to become a teacher. Why? Because they need to handle 30 students in the class and understanding 30 students. According to them, they need to teach. It's not an
true,
individual. Why? Because for me, it's an individual, one kid or two kids. I can handle very smoothly or something hardly. I can do that. I have my own pattern. But the pattern is completely different to the pattern what they are following in the school. Why? Because there are 30 students. So that is the problem. They said like that. See, Badri, the problem here is that all teachers are already workloaded. If I ask you to enter the data for you, what it will happen is that they will not enter the because
Yeah.
they are afraid. They're afraid. Why? Because they're afraid. First thing, they've overloaded. I overloaded again is extra 1 hour they need to spend it. Say for them, they see like that it is unnecessary. Why? Because they always think that I am teaching. I'm saying I'm teaching good, and students are improving very well. So the ratio of the improving is it doesn't matter for them. The improving or not. So why?
Yeah.
Because I used to say like this when if I go and ask any teacher in the school, any school, I ask that do you give me the names of a fifth standard school? They will give the around 10 people. If you ask the what are the standards of the 10 people or 5 to 6 people, they are the 3 people are toppers and 3 people are naughty people.
True.
Why? Because they
See,
can't remember the names of the class completely. Why? Because it's
happens.
impossible for a person. It's
Yeah,
impossible for a person to memorize things.
happens. Oh man, I was surprised. See, I come from a government engineering college, right? Even if I say the name out loud, you guys will have difficulty in finding it. But the challenge is, my college had 240 people across all branches that we had. I thought that was overwhelming, but I recently spoke to one of a graduate and they said in computer science they have like 600 students. How do you think a faculty can remember a 600 students list of names? Right? It's
It's
impossible.
it's very
Right?
difficult. So
Yeah.
it's not it's defaultly it's not their problem. It's a problem with the system. And
System.
see, if you go with the curriculum system, curriculum
Yeah.
is a old ancient thing. They will only choose. They will choose the students. They will choose the
Hmm.
students like 10 to 15 or 20 members, and they will stick with these 20 students from morning to
I think.
evening. This is the
Yeah.
Gurukul
I,
system, and they will take care about each and every person, and they will say this is a monitor, complete monitor, what he is and where he we need to shine. Where so for every teacher they will spend 15. So the teacher will know the every concept. It's not about a specific concept, every concept, and they will stick to them.
yeah.
So that is the beauty of the Gurukul system. So I took this same example. I want to make sure that I should have the Gurukul system. So Gurukul system in present world, it's very difficult getting the Gurukul system. Few schools are running, but
It's
it is
see. I
not
think
possible to
everybody
make
can.
every village
Yeah.
we have the Gurukul system.
Yeah. See, I think everybody can agree. Education has
So
been commercialized, right? It's a business
exactly,
now. I think we all can agree that education has been commercialized, right?
exactly.
And for better or worse, life is a circle. Whatever peaks, whatever will come down. EdTech is the best. With the Byju's peaks, now it's at the rock bottom. People are scared to touch EdTech, especially in the startup and VC stage. Nobody is trusting EdTech
Exactly,
because
exactly,
it
exactly.
created that impression that EdTech is not a viable business model. Right.
If I'm going
Yeah.
with the same thing, uh, same thing is happening. Yeah, let me. I want to complete on this why because I distribute. Then I thought that like about our device before going to device. It's my one of my dream. I want to be some. I want to build a device something. So then I thought that why we need to depend upon the teacher. Why can't we take it from the student itself by input rather
Yeah.
than going with the teacher? So previously, people used to suggest me like I already device is there, but I am totally against to the device. To be frank, I don't like this iPad. Why? Because due to this iPad, due to this Samsung or other Android phones, what is happening is that it's a it's a distraction. It's a distraction from the.
Yeah.
It's a distraction. People, even I don't like to have that. Why? Because we buy for one purpose to learn something. I gave
Yeah.
it to my kid. He is very good in drawing. I want to make sure he want to practice something in a drawing. I bought the iPad. Why? Because the Android will get unnecessary ads. So in iPad we will not get the ads. So I bought the iPad for that one, and I gave it to him and to practice some drawing in the at the era of 4 to 5 years back. So what happened is that he forget about drawing. He go to the Chrome and he started opening the YouTube in the Chrome. He's a 4 years kid. He know that how to open the YouTube in the Chrome. He started watching the things. He started Coco Milan, no, the other things, whatever stuff it is there. Due to that,
Just
it's
just a side note, just a side note. This is parenting 101. Anybody who's becoming parent, right? You need to learn two things. How to make sure your kids don't see unnecessary ads. You have to buy YouTube Premium. There is no bypass to it. And whatever you do, they will eventually find out Coco Milan is on YouTube and they will never let go. Continue.
so I thought that I bought for something and using for something. And he's not learning. Even I got like one brain related games related app in the Brainly something from the app store. It's hardly it's 6,000 something. It's a lifetime. I bought it, but he never used that one. Why? Because the thing is that after that his mother came to the picture. She started taking that tab and keeping in the video. So
Uh,
why? Because he's seeing that she don't know what is the content in that. So I bought it for some apps which is related to brain improvement apps, but she don't bother. Why? I don't want to use. Everyone is not allowing the kids to use the tab. Why we need to use it? Let's keep this one in a shape. So this
yeah.
happened. So I know that the world is completely changing in a different aspects, and we are restricting our kids to don't use the device. It may impact his future. He will not become we are controlling his bright future. Why? Because everyone is learning something from the tab, and you are controlling the tab. The tab or device is must. It's not
Yeah.
optional. But what type of device is important? So
See,
I
this
started
is
researching.
completely millennials' problem of parenting. You know, you can't hide the tech from your kids because it is a fundamental aspect of their development, right? They have to grow up
Exactly.
with technology. If they are not exposed to it, they will be lagging with their peers in terms of understanding about technology, where the world is with respect to devices. At the same stage, you have a challenge. How do you avoid, because there was a research that was done, this is open book, anybody can google this. From the moment you give anybody a device, it takes absolutely around 10 minutes until they find a adult content on internet. That's how dangerous the internet is. So
Exactly.
if your kids are watching something, you have to protect them as a parent, not from only from physical world, but also this digital world, because it's never safe, right?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
if anybody wants to, spot check me, just go to YouTube, start a new private browsing session, and go to the first reels or shorts that you see on YouTube with a new session. It's never a kid's content, right? So as a
Yes, I have
millennials,
different opinion on this one. I have different opinion on this one. I will tell you that one also.
yeah,
So, yeah, why? Because see, the thing why I said like this, I want to give the device. Then I did the research. I have some. I did the research. I saw. I am Kindle. I bought the Kindle in 2019, around
yeah,
2009. Before that, only I bought the Kindle. When I saw the Kindle screen, I felt wow, it's very good. It's like it's a 4 inches Kindle screen,
yeah,
and I felt that the thing why when I'm reading on this one, I felt very comfort, and I feel like that, oh, if I have something writing on this one, I can do magics on this. That is
yes,
the thing I felt when I bought the Kindle. Oh my God, if I have the writing something, why? Because simultaneously I bought LED writing pad, some LED
Hmm.
writing pad, LCD, sorry, LCD writing pad. This LCD writing pad is there. So it is around 300 to 400. At that time, it is very costly. Why? Because it is newly. I'm a gadget. I used to buy the new gadgets. So when I saw this, it's a 1,000 rupees of LCD. LCD, so it's like black, and we will write something, and immediately it will erase. So we can erase with the button, one button. So this is the LCD screen will be there. I thought that if why can't you combine these two things? One is LCD screen, one is Kindle. Why?
Yeah,
Because the
nice.
handwriting we learn. This is what I used to have at the 5 years back only I got this idea. But the thing is that it's again an electrical thing.
Expensive.
But yeah, expensive electrical thing. It's not going to done within 1 day or 2 days. It will take time. So after that, I forget about that one. Then I recalled same thing. So why can't we? This is the right time. Why? Because people, it's a must for the kids to learn using the device.
See,
And I don't,
this
I
is
don't want
something
to start.
I this is something I've seen very common with many founders, right? The ideas that they are working on is not new. It's been, seeded like 3, 5, or even 10 years back, right? When I was a kid, right, I was too lazy to get a book from my cupboard. So I was thinking about what if there is a small motor, go and fetches my book and gives me. Cut to
Okay,
2020, 2025, it's a drone, right?
bro.
But I didn't know at that time, right? But this is what, even your idea is 5 year olds, whatever the product that I am building, it's almost 3, 4 years old, right? It's
Agree.
not something we woke up one day and we started. There was always that there, but we never
There was
had
things
the
always wrong there.
time or resources that we can dedicate to building. And that's one of the important things I see. If you become financially independent,
Hmm.
right? You
Exactly.
don't have any financial liabilities. People can unlock their creativity and work towards what they want to do, because we're all, let's be honest, limited by our EMIs, right? And
Exactly.
motivate.
To be frank, I want to say that God grace, I did, until 2020, 21, I feel like that I didn't buy any house. I didn't buy any house. Even I have a lot of offers getting the home loans. And if you have the 10 lakhs, it's enough. You can get the one tour building in Hyderabad. I used to, I never tried that one. Why? Because there's a fear in me. So going a home loan is always a burden. It's like you need to, somehow it's not worked out to me. Even I gave the advance 1.5 lakh rupee for one, I booked the house. But before Corona, after Corona, I left that amount and I left that house also. I don't want to
Oh,
buy
wow.
it. So that is one of the, God blessed me with don't buy house right now.
Uh, God blessed me with a house and gave me EMI, so that's my motivation for doing whatever I'm doing now, right? So that's the simplest
Okay.
motivation that I have. But yeah,
Okay.
see, that's something, because I was lucky enough that even with those financial liabilities, I'm able to do something that I wanted to do, because 99% of the people are driven by their financial, what they call demand, right?
Okay.
See, this
That
whole,
thing people will think that.
yeah,
Problem is that taking the decision, the financial is the key role, plays the key role to go for the next step. Why?
yes,
Because the people used to see that the thing what you safe. It's not a safe. It makes them to they have the responsibility. I don't want to say it as a say. They have the responsibility. They need to take care about their
yeah,
parents or kids and family. So it's not about their say, it's about their surrounding people say.
yep,
Even he is doing some risk also, but still they think about them. If he is thinking alone about him, the story will be different.
cool.
So that is one thing. That is one thing. I used to believe the people won't think. Some people won't think about themselves. Always they think
Mm,
they want to do something, but the problem is that they will think about the people surrounding, just depending on them. That is one thing they're stopping that one. Even they used to take the risk. If they are not taking the risk, how they come to this position is one of my question. They
yes,
used to take the risk. They used to take the risk, but it's right. They always think about their dependence. So people who,
dependent.
so that's one thing. And the second thing, just as I said, like that, the about device point of view. In the January when I went to that, I come to the back to the point where it's the journey started. So I started researching this. I want to say, to be frank, I want to say thanks to the AI, ChatGPT, Gemini, whatever it may be, because ChatGPT, Gemini, and Grok. I don't want to give it credit to only ChatGPT. So they are the different platforms also to double check. So I'm searching these things, how it can happen, how it can. This is what I need. This is what I need, and it's like God ways. So some of the products are there in the China. with a lower configuration, with a lower thing. But it's
Specs.
whatever my assumption is that I want a screen like uh, I save screen is a Kindle screen. That is the I came to know that the technology is ink
Hmm.
technology. Ink technology, I understood how the ink technology will work compared to the LCD or why it is iSafe, why it is iSafe. So I gone through the technology and I understood the pattern and okay, this is the right product. Then okay, writing on this one. Writing is a different scenario. It's not like a touch screen, writing on a touch screen. It's a different. It's a the point is EMF. The concept of is EMF. I got through all those things. Okay, why? Because before going to the product itself very costly.
Yeah.
Even the product itself very costly. And the thing is that the capability
It's
of that one product is of only for the
it's
reading and writing.
it's one of the
Nothing is else.
niche tech, right? It's
Niche technology.
bound to be expensive. Not many people do this in the market.
Exactly,
See,
exactly.
staying with the product, right? See, you gave a fantastic example, right? Kindle with a writing feature, right? That's an amazing. But before this call, when we spoke on the previous time, right, you mentioned there is a lot of potential personally I see, right? What the product can do. Probably if you have a video demo or something, just send over the link. I'll post it in the podcast. The best
Good.
thing about
This is
this,
the
right?
device.
Yeah,
This
nice.
is the device.
So the best thing is, one thing that blew my mind when I heard about what you are working through, right? See, imagine I used to carry the answer sheets of my classroom to my, professor or lecturer or teacher to their staff room or to their home sometimes because they need to correct it in their own time, to
Exactly.
keep up with the schedule. This changes the whole dynamic. You have an AI evaluating the exams and preparing based on the portions, the questions, right? One of the things I found it, you know, not a ideal scenario is, repeat questions that occur with the same question, right?
Exactly.
Explain this in 5 sentences. Top reasons for the World War II, right? Scenarios. People know that question will come. People will prepare for that answer, but you can't reword it. AI is
Exactly.
better. AI is better in rewording it. Make that cognitive thinking ability in kids. Hey,
Exactly.
reasons for World War II, or you can ask why did World War II happen, or what triggered World War II, right? What was
Yeah,
the
exactly.
break point of
But
World War II? So you can spin it in a way
context will
where
be
you,
remains same. Context will
yeah,
be remains same. The way of asking question will be may vary. So
yeah,
we need to break this one. Why? Because I will tell you one scenario. People will not go completely the question. They sometimes they will go with some parameters, whether they,
keywords.
especially in mathematics, they will go with parameters and the come. Okay, this is the question I need to go and understand. I need to write it. The people will say that he has a very low reading skills, so he will not go through that one completely. He will skim the things and he will see the parameters in that one, and he will write the answer. Sometimes it's may mistake. Most of the cases, it will succeed. So
Yes,
that's how the once upon a time, what is the biggest market is that model papers is the biggest market. Giving the model paper books, we used to buy 60 rupees, 100 rupees model paper books before going to the exams, and we go through that model papers and we listen. This is and what we understood the concept, whether we really understood the concept is not. Yes, to be frank, I want to say no. Just I
yeah.
passed the exam.
See,
Why? Because one of the
same thing happened to me. See, one of the things I learned while doing mathematics in college and schools was, these lectures are pressured to correct like whatever 100 papers, look at the same question, same answers. One of the tricks that I was using is this: a plus b whole square equal to whatever the formula is. I can't recall from top of my mind, but you always have that LHS equals RHS, left hand side equals
exactly
right hand side, right?
right hand side.
So one of the tricks I used to do was write hence proved LHS equal to RHS, start continuing answer up, right? Because whatever the professors, lectures, teachers, they are looking at your final answer, They're not looking
Exactly.
at the sequence of
That
steps,
is
right?
also, yeah, so
So
that's
they'll
also
say,
there.
okay, LSS equals RHS and screwed, right? Okay, you get the marks. You don't see what they have done, right? So this,
Maybe my system, if the same system it is there in my whatever I'm building now, if the same system it is there when I'm studying, maybe I will try like anything.
yeah, I would have got caught, right? LHS equals RHS, but you have never done the, actual calculations. So yeah, see, this is the amazing part of technology improving things.
Exactly. My concept is
Right.
that it's not about, for me, it's not about the case, if I'm doing identifying the things. For me, is that no one is there for me to give the personal feedback. Badri,
Ah,
you did very well. You did very well. The weak points in you is this is the weak point. You are not giving the proper explanation. You are straightforward writing the answers. You are not giving the right examples. So you need to give the right examples. So, for this example, you need to take from the real time example, real world example. See, this is what the feedback is missing in my case when I'm even still there are a lot
no.
of people in the same
I,
case.
I would
Getting the
say
personal
not only in your case, it's a whole edtech problem, because naturally as people we are focused on improving ourselves, but in
feedback.
a class of 20, 60, or even 100 people, we can't expect teachers and professors to come give you that personal guidance that you need. I think you touched a great point. If some third party can review my all answer feedbacks that I have given and gave me, hey, you're making spelling mistake, your sentence formations are not correct, you're not able to communicate in a right way, even though you know the solution. You missed these points to cover, right? It
It's
would have
funny,
made
like
wonders.
it's funny, like see, I don't want to shout this one in the class. At least it's saying my here is also fine
Yeah.
for me to say that. Okay, what's wrong? What's the mistake you did it? What's the thing you did it? So why? Because nature itself, our universe or our nature itself is we will learn from the mistakes. We will learn from the we'll improve from the
Hmm.
mistakes. No one will like to stay at a place where he will know some mistakes. So they will improve that. Improvising is our in our in our nature. It's a God
Yeah.
gifted to us to take the observation and improve ourselves. Healing, self healing. We have the self healing. Still, we believe in medicines. It's a different scenario, but we have the self healing and self improvement. We have the self improvement, self observations. We have all these things are going day by day is healing. But I want to make sure to get it back. So here, how our system will work. Our system is that we have the device which is a writing pad, which is a I say, and it is
Yeah.
again distraction free. Distraction. There's no YouTube. There's no content about like YouTube or other gaming content will not come, and there's no ads and there's no notification. This device completely for the learning. I want to just replace the notebook, whatever the notebook is there with this device. Even I tested with a lot of students, nearly 100 students, and I asked the feedback how you are feeling, whether are you feeling like writing on a tab or writing on a paper. Everyone said the thing is that they are feeling like, right, 90% people said that they are writing, feeling like a paper. Why? Because that is the that is the beauty of the technology. We are trying to, it's already existed. We are trying to incorporate it in the learning field, education field. And the second point, I want to say that here it is every notebook is auto corrected by our models. Our models will see that what he is writing. He will understand. He will compare with the our models will compare with the other students. So why? Because in a class, one person will write very fast, one person will write very slow.
Yeah.
So it will figuring out. It will identify that one who completed the problem, who didn't complete the problem. It will inform to the teacher most. Why? Because I will see that I'm one of the slow writer. When I'm writing the half of the problem in the board, my teacher used to erase it. Why? Because she
Yes.
need to go for other. She need to go for other concept. So what
Yes.
I'm missing is that I need to depend upon my friend or somewhere. Otherwise, I need to get the book. Otherwise, most of the cases I used to leave. I used to leave. I didn't
Hmm.
complete the notes. I will go for the next page with the empty page. So who will figure it out? Who will figure it out? My parents are busy with their work. and teachers are okay. They will say that okay, you didn't complete. Why you didn't complete? And no answer. Why whether you understood or not? No answer. No. Again, they don't want to take time. So somehow they will group it something, and some 1 week or 1 month later, after checking the exam marks, oh, this guy didn't understand. Maybe we'll go for the special classes, our own special classes. It's the private. In private, will
Yeah,
private teacher will check it out. Oh, this guy didn't understand. He has his own different pattern. But what's happening is that when you see that in the classroom, no one, teacher don't have time to observe 30 students. It's very, and it's impossible to observe 30 students. Why? Because she or he will go for the other classes. Around 120 students, they need to tackle every day.
yeah,
120 students. So it's very difficult for them to go through each and every person. But they're really happy if they have some system, assistance system. Okay, this guy Badri is particularly facing this challenge in this concept, particular challenge, and like these people, they are the 10 people, and
yeah,
make them a group, and again say the same concept. So
yeah,
that's what we are trying to build. Our system, what it will do is that it will make sure that who are facing the challenges and make sure that the people who are facing the challenges make them to work on more worksheets
yeah.
on the same
See,
concept.
I think what you are building is something categorized, if I'm not wrong, AI driven personal learning, right? Or
Exactly.
personalized learning, because this is something very smart and very needed solution, if you ask me, because you said you're already working with, some of the government schools. And because my past healthcare founder, right, is from Zato AI. They are doing same for public hospitals, right? Because there is also the same concern: too many people, too little resources, right? And you are doing something similar: too many students, too little teachers to focus and get their attention of time, right? When you have that personalized care in healthcare, personalized learning in edtech, I see the same problem, right? But it's just two people solving the same problem, but it's very crucial. This is where I'm very optimistic about India, because we are all like first generation of founders, first generation of IT employees,
Exactly.
right?
Exactly.
we're still we are still trying to uh, solve something that is very in need for India because of the scale of the population, crumbling
Hmm.
public infrastructure that we have. But this is where I'm very optimistic for whatever the time frame, 5, 10, 20 years, right? I can't predict, but this is where it's going to be a game changer in India, because people are looking at the real problems that they are looking to solve. And
Hmm.
even the audience and everybody on the internet agrees, public education is a problem, right? If they had a quality education system, private education industry will not be thriving as it is as a business now, right? And it is that pain point that most of the people have, affordable education with a quality personalized learning, right? Even for private, they don't have resources to focus on personalized learning for each student they have. Each schools at a
Exactly.
minimum, they have like 500, 600 kids minimum. I'm saying minimum, maximum can go
Exactly.
up to thousands, right? And what do they have in teachers trend? 20, 50 students. Even if you scale, that's one student per 50 or 100 kids, right? So that's where it becomes personalized learning. It's definitely not scalable for even public or private. And that's where I see the most potential here, because if you look at the long term vision, right, this CET in Karnataka, or MSET in Andhra and Telangana, right? You can build a whole curriculum from kids journey, as in first standard to intermediate or BTech graduates, right? You can see their improvement, how they are performing, right? And already this data is with your education board, right?
Exactly.
But it's never digitized. You will never see what is the reasons kid dropping out in high school, kids dropping out in uh, intermediate or after 10th PUC, we call it in Karnataka, right? You never know how many people are dropping out in graduate in engineering, BCom, BSc, or whatever. If this data is digitized, imagine like your platform, government can get a valuable metric where they are losing students, right? How they can improve the education. And this is where I think as a edtech builder, you have to educate this to policymakers. Internet has been weaponized, right?
Exactly.
And
As,
it can
as
be weaponized. And there is a huge amount of influence by US tech companies. There's no hiding from it. Anybody in the tech industry knows that, right? But being cybersecurity professional, I know the dangers of those, and I've taken measures to protect my kids and people around me.